Huh? What? Is the Xfinity race over? Oh, shit.
High, push it, checker flag, hell yeah!
What's the caution for? Me?
Can they not push it in? Stop anybody. Come on, these guys! Way to go, boys!
One hell of a job, man, one hell of a job. Thank you so much.
Hey, Gearheads, and welcome on into episode number 2 of this still needs a name NASCAR Xfinity Series show. I'm Alan Bailey, and yes, I do sleep in a Deadpool onesie. What are you going to do about it? You get adult money, you get to do adult things with the adult money, and no one can tell you no. Life is good, my friends. And yes, the race at Atlanta was the best nap I've had in a hot damn minute, so thank you to the Xfinity Series drivers for giving me that. But in all seriousness, we're going to go ahead and break down everything that we saw out at race number 2 at Atlanta. No surprise, Austin Hill picks up the victory after a very, very, very dominant run from rookie Jesse Love. In just a second, start picked up his second career pole in 2 starts. He's 2 for 2 so far. Are you kidding me? He should have won out there this last weekend, but, you know, circumstances are what they are. I get it. He ran out of fuel. How that happened is beyond me. I'm sitting here going, well, you're a rookie, and you said you saved enough, but you're only 2 races in, so chances are you don't know how to save as well as your fellow competitors, namely your teammate Austin Hill, who clearly saved enough fuel to make it to the end. He wins the race out at Atlanta. Back-to-back victories kicking off the season for Austin Hill, and just like last year and the year before that, Austin Hill peaking very too soon, and he's probably not going to keep it up when the playoffs start, and he'll somehow screw it all up. At least that's the sense I'm getting. But listen, this guy is one hell of a restrictor plate racer. He's one of the top 3 best in the field and probably in all of NASCAR right now. But I don't know, man. To me, it's just too damn early to be peaking. I'm worried about him. You know, we saw this a couple of years ago with Chase Elliott, where he peaked during the regular season in the Cup Series, and then when the postseason started, he just fell apart. And I'm getting that sense out of Austin Hill right now. Here is your Atlanta finishing order. Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, Shane Van Gisbergen, Sheldon Creed, and Parker Retzlaff, all with top 5 finishes. You have Jeremy Clemens, Anthony Alfredo, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Ryan Truex, and Sammy Smith, all with top 10s. Looking throughout the field at a couple of notables, you do have young Jesse Love right there coming home 12th after running out of fuel right there in the closing laps. Unfortunately, AJ Allmendinger coming home 13th, Riley Herbst 15th, Cole Custard 16th, not that great for them. Parker Kligerman 19th right there. Outside the top 20, you had Jeb Burton 23rd. You had Haley Degan 27th, not exactly what she was looking for. Then 30th on down, we do have a John Hunter Nemechek right there in 32nd. You also have Josh Williams right there in 37th. Not a good weekend for Williams in the Xfinity and the Cup Series race. Checking the points right now, Austin Hill continuing to lead with his 2 victories so far in 2024. Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, Chandler Smith, Jesse Love, all top 5 in the points at the moment. Parker Retzlaff, Ryan Truex, AJ Allmendinger, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Sammy Smith, all in the postseason at the moment. They're looking pretty darn strong right now. But we're just 2 races in, so don't get excited thinking, yes, this is over, it's all set, SVG's locked in. Far from it. By the way, speaking of SVG, let's go ahead and start with him for this week's Superstar Showcase. Honestly, 3rd in his 2nd oval start in reality in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Yes, they're both on plate tracks. I think them being back-to-back really helped out SVG getting accustomed to the draft, the car, etc. And in the long run, probably the best thing for him having these races back-to-back. So thank you, NASCAR, for the scheduling for this rookie. Honestly, really impressive. Really impressive. Yes, he had to be there at the end. Yes, he had some moments in this race. It wasn't perfect for him. But you know what? I was pretty darn impressed by this one. Honestly, I'm intrigued to see what happens this coming weekend at Vegas for him. I think that he should have at least a decent run, and by decent I mean top 20, top 15, almost guaranteed. but at the same time, it's a completely different animal. With the wins out at Vegas, it's going to be his biggest challenge yet, so I'm interested to see what Shane honestly can bring to this car and how he gets out of Vegas. I think it's going to be fascinating to watch, and I can't wait. You had, unfortunately, Hailie Degan coming home in 27th place. I had to check my notes on that one. This is exactly what I expected from her team, not from her. I think that she does have more capability in her, really, but I do think that plate tracks are kind of her weakness right now, and I do think that her race team, frankly, isn't firing on all cylinders, to be a little polite for them. It's a brand new race team, essentially. They're only in year 2. They have a brand new driver that they're with this year, and they're underfunded. I will say it. Yes, supposedly they're getting a little more help from Ford this year, but I haven't seen that yet. It's hard to see that success on the racetrack, getting those resources from Ford. It's kind of just promises and talk right now, and honestly, we got to see some results on the racetrack from Ms. Degan this year, honestly and sincerely. I don't mean to put more pressure on her, but she needs to step up, and Vegas this weekend is going to be a huge test for Ms. Degan, because it's where she started her Xfinity Series career a couple of seasons ago, and she had a really good run. I do think that this track will suit her driving style a lot more, but this is kind of the start of the quote-unquote real season, is this weekend out in Vegas, and I question, is the team going to bring a well-prepared car for her? Is she going to gel with the team? Are they going to keep up with the changes? They're still a young organization, and they're still trying to gel with this rookie driver. So, honestly, give them a few more months, and I think that we'll start to see some results out of Ms. Degan. But this weekend, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on her. Jessie Love led 157 of the 169 laps. Nice. Seriously, that's insane for a driver to lead that many laps, let alone a rookie who shouldn't be this good this early. I knew that Love was honestly going to come into the Xfinity Series and eventually clean up. I had a feeling he was going to be the guy who was going to rattle off 5-10 victories at some point. I thought it was going to be year 2. Honestly, I'm sitting here looking at this kid going, oh, is anybody else going to win? Because once Jessie Love and that 2-team gel and they really start to put together some really good runs, watch out. They're going to be serious playoff contenders, and they're going to have a deep playoff run in 2024. I believe it. He's still young. He's still learning. He still needs to get that seat time. He said he thought he saved enough fuel to make it to the end of this one. Clearly he didn't, but how would he know? He's 2 races in now. I mean, we got to realize that this is a very young driver, and we're watching potentially the beginnings of greatness out of this guy. Seriously, if I'm a Cup Series owner, Denny Hamlin, I'm looking at Jessie Love going, hey, bud, come talk to me when that contract's up. We're gonna talk now, because in a couple years when that multi-year deal with RCR and the Xfinity Series is up, I'm going to put you in a Cup car, because, damn, this kid is good. Like, really good. I honestly think once he gets a bunch of these little rookie mistakes out of the way, which will probably happen midway point of the season, if I'm being honest, maybe even a little less, maybe even a little more. We're going to have to wait and see how he develops, how he progresses, but super impressive run out of Jessie Love at Atlanta. Pity he only comes home 12th, but damn, that was cool. Want to get to some of the news in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. ForeverLawn is going to be signing with Jeffrey Earnhardt for 4 races. Now just 3 races remaining. It was on the car over the weekend at Atlanta, Degan in April, Daytona in August, and Bristol in September coming up in 2024. It's one of his longtime sponsors, and I like the car. It's a really good-looking car. I really hope to see them sign up for more races, and maybe that'll happen over at Sam Hunt Racing, but again, we're going to have to wait and see. Jeffrey's schedule is a little all over the place this year, but it's going to be interesting to see if he puts together some good runs in 2024. And yes, believe it or not, this show still needs a name. I know, it's a big mystery. What are we going to call the show? We've seen a couple of good names thrown out there, but honestly, I still want to keep them coming. I feel like the diamond in the rough is out there. It's just a question of, where is it? I don't know. The real 2 big stipulations are cannot have NASCAR in the name and cannot have Xfinity in the name. But, I mean, I don't want to have my own name in there. That's the third stipulation. No Bailey Report, no The Alan Bailey Show, no, I'm not that, I'm not famous. I'm not famous. It's not about me. It's about this series. It's about everything that this series represents, which is the next generation coming up, getting ready to jump into the Cup Series. The guys who ran in the Cup Series who frankly want to just relax a little bit and not have the pressure of Sunday and the price tag of racing on Sunday, but instead competing for victories at this level. And you have frankly the older guys who were out there just having fun, man. And the combination of all of these different racers in this series not only produces some of the best side-by-side racing that we see in all of NASCAR, but also produces one hell of a racing product for you and I to enjoy. So because of that, I want this name to have its own identity and its own brand so that you know exactly what we're talking about when we talk about the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And we're not sure if Xfinity is going to remain with the series beyond its current contract, so that's why we don't want Xfinity in the name in reality. So if you think you have a great idea for what we should call this little weekly get-together talking about the NASCAR Xfinity Series, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. And while you're there, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss an episode coming up in 2024. And as always, between episodes, you can always log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I want to thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I know I initially said that this show was going to be coming out on Fridays and Saturdays, but frankly, my schedule just doesn't allow me to sit down and record and talk about the series towards the end of the week, and I don't want to put an episode out the day that the series is on track. It's just too weird. So this is going to be kind of our Tuesday get-together, so to speak. Every Tuesday, we're going to go ahead and talk about the NASCAR Xfinity Series here on the program, and of course, on Mondays, you have Shifting Gears, recapping everything that we saw over the past weekend, including the latest news headlines and your comments with hot takes, as well as an episode of Shifting Gears coming out on Thursdays talking about the week of NASCAR news and, of course, what's coming up that weekend. So you could check out three episodes, I should say, a week here on the channel and sporadic content on the weekends as well. And we also stream over on the Team Chaos YouTube channel with the link in the description below. So make sure that you subscribe so that you stay up with everything, because there's a whole lot of cool stuff coming out this season. We're trying to be really consistent in 2024 for y'all, and we're really excited about it. So for the still yet to be named NASCAR Xfinity Series show, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.